Hello everyone. Enlit Kids Bookstore is thrilled to bring to you a unique series of book readings. Sunday Reads. My name is Shraddha and I will be your Enlit Kids reading partner for today. To start with, we have handpicked excerpts from a lovely book of verses called On the Wild Side. On the Wild Side is written by children's author Katie Bagli and published by Inking Innovations. This thought-provoking book takes us on a journey to meet nature. It's actually based on true incidents and many of author Katie's real-life experiences. So, there was just one small problem. There are so many beautiful verses in this book, it was a really tough decision to choose what to present today. So I have just gone ahead and picked my favorite 3. So let's dive right in with the hermit crabs. It's fun to walk on the seashore. There is always so much to explore, especially when the tide recedes, a treasure trove of wonders you get to see. One day I saw hermit crabs marching out of a hole in a rocky crag. I counted 122, wearing shells of every shape and hue. Green, yellow, red and tan, some like turbans and some like fans. They crawled restlessly on the sand, appearing agitated as if waiting for a command. I wondered, what were they up to? What was the meaning of all this? What were the hermits about to do? Why all this hullabaloo? And then, as if right on cue, they all stood in an orderly queue, led by the largest and ending with the minuscule. Then each hermit crab stepped out of its shell and got into the shell of the one ahead. The incredible mystery was solved. They were getting into bigger shells, of course, as the ones they had worn they had completely outgrown. So each of the 121 crabs, without any trouble, got a new garb to protect its vulnerable lower half, which strangely doesn't have a cover hard. Only the leader, the largest of them all, had to go hunting for a new overall. This orderly behavior took me by surprise. Such tiny creatures, so uncannily wise. Here's an illustration in the book of how the hermit crabs line up to find their next home. Isn't that amazing? That when a new shell washes ashore, the hermit crabs just come out and just line up in order of size in order to find their new home. The next verse is called A Whale of a Problem. Hurry, hurry! A whale has washed ashore, all of 60 feet, perhaps even more. A young blue whale, that's for sure. Word goes around and many villagers throng. With hearts bleeding, they watch her struggling, rolling and writhing, her flukes thrashing, even while the waves come ashore smashing. The people put their heads together. How does one tackle this difficult matter? She has to be rescued, proclaimed their leader. We have to push her back into the sea. The tide is now high, but soon it will recede. 2 fishermen agreed to give up their day's catch. Never mind the loss, the whale must go back. They could use their fishing boats and with the help of strong ropes, they could tow the massive mammal back into the sea where she belonged. "Nay," said their leader, "the whale is too heavy. The ropes used to tow her will cut into her belly." What could they do? Said the leader's worldly wise wife, "We can cut down on the whale's trauma and strife. Make a rope out of our saris. Wouldn't that be soft and nice?" "Brilliant," said their leader, and everyone agreed. All the village women offered their softest saris. The 9-yard saris were tied end to end and tethered around the whale's abdomen. Then began the tricky mission rescue, singing cheery songs and making much ado. Inch by inch, the boats pulled and heaved. After 8 long hours, she was returned to the sea. With a resounding splash, she entered the water. The sari rope untied, and they watched her like a daughter. The blue whale was relieved and thanked all the people by blowing up sprays that upon them sprinkled, bidding fond farewells and showering good wishes. The villagers watched teary-eyed the mighty whale vanish. "Goodbye, blue whale. Return to where you belong. We wish you a good life. May you be healthy and strong." Wasn't it amazing how a massive mammal like a blue whale was rescued by the joint effort of some really caring humans? The next verse I'd like to read to you today is called "The Return of the Feathered Performers." Feathered performers, I wonder who they are. Let's read on and find out. Ramu looked around his fields. No more crops would he ever see. Enough of sowing, harvesting, threshing. After 30 long years, enough of farming. He wished his land once again to be home to the Floricans who long ago here roamed. So in his fields he let the wild grass grow and awoke each morning with the hope that the bird he sincerely yearned would sooner or later return. Just as he was giving up all hope, early one morning he awoke to the sound of wings clapping. Chick, 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 chick. A bird was singing. "The Bengal florican has returned. Hooray!" He watched it flap its white wings and fly, a black silhouette in the twilight sky. It rolled its head back and sang all the while, and suddenly began to nosedive. Ramu's eyes were streaming with tears. What a visual delight after so many years. Thence on, Ramu awoke each morn to the Bengal florican's joyous song. And then came a glorious day when the florican's aerial display drew the attention of a female mate. For the Bengal florican's grand repertoire was purported to draw a winsome partner. The buff brown female stood concealed in the grass and voiced her consent to the winner of her heart. The male was so happy, he strutted about with head bobbing and feathers fluffed out. And within a few days in his fields, Ramu found 2 glossy green eggs flecked with purple brown. Soon there was a family and many more arrived, And in Ramu's grasslands, the floricans thrived. Ramu felt richer than ever before. Do you hear the florican? Ramu felt richer than ever before. His fields full of the feathered performers, just like it was in the good old days of yore. So those were our verses for today. I hope you really enjoyed today's Enlit Kids Sunday read from On the Wild Side, authored by Katie Bagli and published by Inking Innovations. You can find this and many such books at Enlit Kids Bookstore. You can reach us at our website enlitkids.com or via our Facebook and Insta handles. Thank you for listening in to Sunday Reads, and see you at the next episode of Enlit Kids Sunday Reads. Bye.